Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, from where you are, wherever you are around the world. My name is Dan Doyle. I'm an ASEA, which is a cellular health company. Just want to let you guys know, for anybody who's watching this for the first time, I just want you to please relax, because I'm not here to convince you of anything or to sell you anything. I'm just here to pass on information. Whatever you want to do with that information is totally up to you. There are 6 reasons why people look at this company ASEA, their breakthrough technology, their products. One is that you may have a health problem yourself. You may know somebody that has a health problem, a friend or a loved one. You may not like the way you're looking or feeling anymore as you age. You may understand the concept of looking after yourself through taking nutrition or doing exercise. You may be an athlete, or you may be looking for an opportunity. What I'm going to go through is nothing less than the single greatest health science, anti-aging, and sports performance breakthrough of our lifetime. I'm going to share my story. I'm going to share the screen as well. And I'm going to show you where I came from literally having no health to where I am today. Before I go into that, I just want to let you know that these products that I'm going to talk about, the ASEA in particular and the Renew 28, which are the marquee products, are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure or prevent any disease or medical condition. What we're going to talk about is products that can potentially empower the body to heal itself of whatever the body's going through. So this is me as a young fellow at the age of 24 as a bodybuilder. I played a lot of sports before I did bodybuilding. I played rugby league here in Sydney, Australia. I did gym and gymnastics, and also judo. I did aerobics, and I surfed on the northern beaches here in Sydney. But this ended up a passion of mine because I used to own a gym back at the age of 24 years old up in Newcastle, and I had to be a product of the product. And this was the end result, competing in bodybuilding events up to New South Wales state titles, which I'd done quite well in. And fast forward 20 years from the age 24 to the age 44, and keeping in mind that I wasn't a bodybuilder anymore. I used to go to the gym at 6:30 every morning and work on my cardiovascular and do a little bit of weights. But I just wanted to be the best 44 going to 50-year-old that I could be, and I was working really hard at it. This was in December 2010. As fit and as healthy as I was, I didn't realize that I had 2 very serious health challenges. This is a photo of me literally 6 months later. So in May 2011, I got some very bad news, and basically the day after they told me what the bad news, I was literally in Royal North Shore Hospital and spent 2.5 years in and out of that hospital. This is a very fake smile. What I went through in that hospital, I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. It was a horrendous time. This was a good friend of mine, Johnny Manor, who used to play for the Cronulla Sharks and Parramatta Eels, and he'd been through those hospital visits. He'd been through what they considered to had the good one, and I had 2 of the bad ones. And he was 21 years in this photo, 21 years of age in this photo. Unfortunately, just after this photo, Johnny's issue came back, and he ended up going into that hospital again, having the same hospital visits that I was having that he previously had. And we lost him at the age of 23 years old. It was a horrendous time. So after 2.5 years of those hospital visits, my specialist told me to get my affairs in order. I was pretty angry. I thought I was going to be okay. I believed in the medical fraternity, what they were doing, put my life into their hands. And unfortunately, the prognosis wasn't good. Things still weren't going to be okay. So we did, as he said, we got all our affairs in order, and then I started searching for a solution. I did some research. My research led to an alkaline diet, and alkaline diet was very strict. If you are Australian, you know how much we love our barbies and our beer and steak, but all that was out the door, the red wine. I had a totally clean diet, and for 2 years I was on this diet. I spent a lot of money on products from network marketing companies because my research led me to these companies, and their products were very, very good from the research that I did. So companies like Zango's mangosteen, Celgevity, which was a Max product, Pro Tandem, Life Vantage, Kangen water. There was a lot of products I took, a lot of products I spent money on. And after 2 years, this was the result. And as you can see by the next photo, I look probably 20 or 30 years older than what I did in the photo you just saw. So what you can see on the outside here, the way my skin was, the red and yellow circles around my eyes, it was just a direct reflection of how things were still working on the inside. This photo was taken in October 2014 when a friend of mine, Bart Cotter, called. And what all Bart said to me over the phone was, I think I found something that could help. So within a few days, I found myself on a plane going to a place I never heard of, Salt Lake City in Utah, to meet Bart and to meet the owners of a company called ASEA. We met in the headquarters listening to the atomic and medical physicist, Dr. Gary Samuelson, going through the science behind this incredible breakthrough. I'm not a scientist. All the science was going over my head, but what I did understand is that these bottles that were sitting on the table in front of us on the boardroom table was 100% non-toxic and it could have health benefits. The other great thing was it was free, so we were gorging it down. I went through half a bottle while sitting there listening to the presentation, which went for about another 3 hours, and went back to the hotel room after the meeting. We were getting ready and freshening up to actually meet the founders of the company ASEA and Dr. Gary Samuelson, the atomic and medical physicist, who came up with this breakthrough. I took off my shirt to have a shower, and I was covered in all these little red spots all over my chest and my back and my shoulders, not realizing at the time that what I was trying to achieve up until this point in this photo for 2 years on this alkaline diet, to expel from my body what wasn't supposed to be in there, to get my body running to the point where it could heal itself, was literally happening in a short 3 hours. Toxins were coming out of my body. They couldn't wait till I went to the bathroom. So I considered that to be my first win, and that was only within a short few hours of arriving in Salt Lake City. The next morning we got up and we went to breakfast, and for 20 years I've had a caffeine intolerance. Any more than 2 coffees, I'm buckled over with issues and bloating the whole day. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm going to test this stuff that we were drinking the day before, and we drank it before breakfast as well that morning. And I decided to have 6 coffees. Now, 6 coffees I thought was going to be difficult for me to do because I was going to go through all these health challenges on the day and this bloating and being totally uncomfortable. But to have 6 coffees in America was a real challenge because they can't make coffee. So I had the 6 coffees, and I really didn't think about anything because there was nothing to remind me of what I endured for 20 years with that caffeine intolerance. It had literally disappeared overnight. So that was the second win. The third win came the next day when those hospital visits caused me so many problems with my lungs, so much damage that I was having trouble breathing and talking at the same time. You can tell I don't have that problem anymore. So I was having difficulty walking up hills and walking upstairs, but breathing and talking was still a challenge. My lungs were functioning perfect within 48 hours of being on this product. I came back to Australia and I kept drinking this product. Unfortunately, I was in a financial position after being very successful in traditional business, losing everything financially. So I could only afford a bottle of this stuff a week, which they consider to be the maintenance dose for somebody who's 100% healthy. About halfway through 2015, I scraped enough money together to be able to purchase and take more than half a bottle a day. And by December 2015, I got some really good news, really good results. Keep in mind, this was October in 2014, this photo. And the day I got the good news from my doctor saying there was no sign of the 2 major issues anymore is this photo here. And you can see that my complexion's different. I had happiness in my eyes. I looked healthy. I had a real smile, not a fake smile. And my health was well and truly heading in the right direction at this point. It was heading in the right direction more than what I expected because, I mean, obviously with the 2 major health challenges that I had, that was a massive win. But the thing that really surprised me is I had multiple injuries from playing sports from 30 to 40 years ago. And I had neck problems and a major shoulder problem and a hand problem, back problem, hip problem, pelvic problems. I mean, these issues were getting worse and worse every year and then mutating into a condition that was going to be crippling. Those things were gone by by this photo in December 2015. My whole body was totally rebuilt, including pollen problems I had for 20 years and using a nasty medication that I used to spray up my nose every morning. And all day but that issue was gone by this photo in December 2015. That was my journey back to health personally, and I haven't had any problems since December 2015, and I still have 6 monthly checkups now, which went from 3 monthly to 6 monthly, and the doctors can't believe the condition I'm in. They can't believe that I'm actually still here. So that was my journey back to health. If you fast forward 2 years, and you can see what I look like now, I'm going okay. You can see that I'm actually looking and getting younger and younger and younger because of what this product, this technology can do. Before I go into what these products are and what this technology is, I'm going to be talking about these molecules that we're naturally producing called redox signaling molecules. And before I talk about their function and role within our bodies, even animals and plants, let me just touch on how disease starts. Every single disease on the planet, every issue that we have, starts with the body going out of balance or a cell that isn't detected. When a cell isn't detected, that's a really rogue cell, that's a really bad cell, and it's not going to be repaired because there's no detection. It's going to divide into 2 damaged cells. If those 2 damaged cells aren't detected, they'll turn into 4 damaged cells, and 8, 16, 32, and so on. And this issue will start spreading through your body. It will mutate, it will spread. What happens is it takes 5 to 20 years for you to actually have a symptom, 5 to 20 years for that issue to come to the surface. That has been brewing in your body for a very long time. By the time it comes to the surface, you've got a major challenge. You could have a minor challenge, but it could be something as serious as what I went through. And then all of a sudden you're in hospital and on an ongoing treatment, and you may be in a situation where the doctors, like me, can't do anything for you. The body does have the ability to heal itself, which is great. But as time goes on, the ability for the body to heal itself declines. You see, as children, we are healing very fast. The reason for that is because we're producing an abundance of these redox signaling molecules. Now, I'll explain what these molecules do. I don't want to go too much into the science. I don't want to confuse you. But we have these little power plants in our cells called the mitochondria. These power plants produce the energy for our cells. As a byproduct of energy production, there's a chemical reaction that takes place that changes the structure, the chemical structure of salt water into these stabilized, balanced redox signaling molecules when they're produced. Well, when I say stable, they last for a split second, and they've got a split second to do their job. Their job is to detect cells and then signal the immune system to either come in and protect it if it's good, repair it if it needs repair, or destroy and replace if it's too far gone. So this is the mechanism that finds the damage in our body, these redox signaling molecules, the communication to signal the body to heal itself. We all know how important antioxidants are. Well, I can tell you that's great, but I can also tell you they're absolutely useless, and they won't activate, they won't work unless they're activated by these redox signaling molecules that we're naturally producing. These molecules are also responsible for detecting the bacteria, the virus, and the infection in our body. Without this detection, our bodies don't know where these problems are. You may have heard of oxidative stress. That's our bodies rusting, the calcification on our bones, the plaque that builds up in arteries that causes heart disease. So when our bodies are breaking down, degenerative disease, when our bodies are breaking down and rusting and doing more damage than good, the only thing that detects that damage to signal the body to deal with it are redox signaling molecules. They also are key in the regulation of our 12 major systems. When someone's got a sugar problem, their pancreas is out of balance. Obviously, you've all got a heart. These molecules are responsible for the regulation of our cardiovascular system, endocrine system, our digestive system, our immune system, our skin, our skeletal system. These molecules regulate our 12 major systems. They're also responsible for activating genes. They get down to DNA level, and they can change things at DNA level. They go through our blood-brain barrier. These molecules get into every part. They're involved in every chemical reaction in our bodies. If you want a physical example of how this works, If you clap your hands hard 3 times right now, more than likely you'll have a little bit of a tingling sensation and a little bit of a feeling that hurts. What you've just done when you clap your hands like that, you've damaged over 1 billion cells. What's being produced are these redox signaling molecules to signal from a good cell to a bad cell, to signal the immune system to come in to repair those billion cells. And that's the tingling sensation that you can feel. As children, as I said, we are producing these molecules in abundance. By the time we get to my age at 50, we only have 50% production left. By the time we get to 70, we only have 10% production left. So a 70-year-old is healing and recovering 10 times slower than what they did at the age of 10 years old. So that's the bad news. But the good news is this company, ASEA, has managed, and it didn't happen overnight, it took 17 years, and science thought it was impossible to stabilize these redox signaling molecules outside of the body by changing the molecular structure of saline, salt water, pulling the atoms apart and reconstructing those atoms over a 3.5-day electrochemical process. They have managed to stabilize these redox signaling molecules outside of the body. So now we can top up a 70-year-old to potentially heal like a 10-year-old. This can potentially empower anybody's body to get on top of anything their body's going through. This is 100% non-toxic. It's bioactive, which means it works, and it's native to the body, which means it's what our body produces. So because of that, it doesn't affect any treatment or medication that you may be on. It can't hurt or harm anybody, and you can feed it to a newborn baby. It is so safe. Your saliva is more dangerous swallowing it than what this is. This company, and this is a second breakthrough, this is a second product they came out with, the Renew 28 all-over body gel. What they managed to do is suspend these molecules into 2 natural products. And now we can apply the molecules to our skin. There's twice as many molecules in a concentrated area than what's in the ASEA drink. Trillions of redox signaling molecules, trillions of redox signaling molecules. So in about 1 teardrop size amount of the liquid, there's over 1 trillion molecules. So if you look at this gel, there's about 2 trillion molecules in 1 teardrop size amount in the same amount. So this, we can't make any claims with these products. You've heard my story, and these products aren't intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. But if you keep it a secret, and I can make one claim, and saw my photos, guys, prior to using this gel nearly 4 years ago, I used to be quite ugly. But as you can see, I've come a long way. So we've got 2 incredible breakthrough products. They're the products I want to talk to you about the most. There's a little tiny skincare range to support the molecules, which is a cleanser to prepare the skin. There's a serum which goes on after the Renew 28, which also is twice as concentrated in molecules than the Renew 28. The serum also has the molecules. There's only 3 products with the molecules, and then there's a moisturizer to support the molecules. The company has come out with their first nutritional product, and it's a micronutrient, phytonutrient, superfood multivitamin. Incredible ingredients in it. If you were to pay for the food, the equivalent of the nutrition you're actually getting here, it cost you over $500. So in the US, it costs $55. Landed in Australia because we get it directly from the US at the moment until it is 100% approved here. It's an NFR product at the moment, not for resale, so we do have to buy it from America, but that's about $100 landed. I do supplement, not my food, because I still eat normally and eat as well as I can, but unfortunately, because our soils are so depleted, we can't get the trace elements and minerals into our vegetables and into our salads that we used to get 30, 40, 50 years ago. So I do supplement with this incredible product. Now, the thing is, every single company on the planet that deals in nutrition, all these types of companies that the word-of-mouth companies that have this actual model, they have one part of the story. They have nutrition. We used to only have one half of the story, which is the labor to make everything else work. But now, and ASEA is coming out with another 2 nutritional supplements, which are incredible, and there are other products that are actually used now, so I'm going to be replacing. They have come out with the labor and the nutrition for the body. We are the only company in the world that is the ultimate cellular health solution. We've got both parts of the story, the material for the body and the labor to make everything work. So just to touch on the other benefits, the redox supplement, so the drink, increases efficiency of antioxidants by over 500%, glutathione production, minimum over 500%. They've had much higher readings, which I won't go into, but getting some good results from glutathione production, your natural glutathione production. There's a lot of you guys that are on this call, maybe seeing it for the first time, only looking at it for the sake of your health, which is fantastic. This is the reason why we're doing this. We need to get to you guys. We need to get to your family and friends that do have health challenges. And a lot of these people, the doctors have no answers for them. They have a lot of issues in their body. They're hurting. And we know that this is something that could help them. So for anybody who is looking at this for the health benefits, please go back to the person who introduced you onto this call, onto this webinar, and talk to them, because they can help you to open up a wholesale account, and then you can get access to these products for the best possible price. So they can help you to set up that account. It only takes about 5 minutes. Just give them a call. They can do it over the phone, and you'll have these products on their way to you, no matter where you are in the world, in any market that's open, which is 33 markets in the world. We do have it here in Australia. The redox supplement and the skincare range is based in a warehouse here in Sydney. That's everything about the product. I just want to touch on the opportunity. I did mention now the 6 reasons why people look at this. Sometimes some people look at it for the opportunity. I wasn't looking at the opportunity initially. I was only looking at this for my own health. After 5 months, it became a responsibility to share this with people because I knew what it could do. It has become for me a purpose-filled mission. And 3.5 years ago, I came from being a very successful businessman over a very, very long time to losing everything when I lost my health. And, it was a very serious situation where we almost went to the Salvation Army for food stamps. It was pretty desperate. And I made a decision to start helping people with this product, to share it with people, to make sure they had results from taking the product, to help them achieve whatever they wanted to achieve from whatever their body was going through. And that became my purposeful mission back in February 2015, 5 months after I started taking the product and started getting all these phenomenal results. Since then, first and foremost, we've helped literally thousands and thousands of people from starting this back then. Nearly 20,000 people actually that we've helped from me opening my mouth in the first place. So it's been the most satisfying thing that I've ever done in my whole entire life. But it also took us from me not having my health to health, but also from us losing everything financially to financial freedom in a very short period of time. This company is very, very generous in what they give us to encourage us, to support us, to ensure our success, to get this to as many people as possible. They had their intention was, and their strategy was, to sell this breakthrough to the pharmaceutical industry. And what happened was, when they basically found out, when they discovered that every single pharmaceutical company they spoke to wanted to buy it for a large amount of money, what they found out they were going to do was bury this technology. And you can just imagine why they'd do that. But that would have left humanity without this incredible breakthrough. So Virtus Norton made a decision to leave this as his legacy to humanity by not selling out to the pharmaceutical industry. This has been an incredible journey for me over the last 3.5 years. I have been on this journey where, as I said, it's been the most satisfying thing that I've ever done personally. We have gone from where we were financially to being financially free, enabling us to travel the world when we want, to where we want, at any time that we want, which is just amazing that we can just pick up and book a trip and go. My passion is to get this to the world as quickly as I can. So anything that these thank you checks that I'm getting from the company from helping people is going back in, not only to help to get this to people as quickly as possible, but also I've got the financial ability to help in other ways as well. And I've never had the capacity to do that. So this would be the biggest opportunity that I've ever come across in my 20 years of traditional business, basically from 1990 right through to 2010. I've never seen an opportunity like this, where we've got the biggest breakthrough that's created this incredible opportunity. These products, the breakthrough is literally, to reiterate, the single greatest health science, anti-aging and sports performance breakthrough of our lifetime. There's no supplements or even skincare range on the planet that can get close to what this does for the human body and animals and plants, because these molecules are the body's weapon of choice, which makes ASEA, this company, this business model, the word of mouth, the most compelling opportunity that I think we'll ever see in our lifetime. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to stop the recording now and I'll come back to you guys. Anybody who wants ask any questions, just put in the chat box and we'll answer those questions over the next 10, 15 minutes or so. Thank you so much.